The debate of whether or not viruses are alive has been going on for nearly a century. People go back and forth on the answer frequently, and there's no one answer. If we look at the 7 characteristics of living things, which is an outline for all life, viruses fit 4 out of the 7. They respond to their environment using the lytic versus lysogenic cycles to reproduce, depending on the situation. They are able to reproduce, they're made of cells, and they sort of pass traits to offspring because their offspring is just a clone of the original. This professor thinks it made things more confusing, which it did, because it does fit some of the key determinants of life. Take an experiment with a fish, rock, and a plant. Clearly the fish and the plant are alive and the rock is not. Over time the fish and the plant will change if left in a stagnant and barren, unchanging environment, but the rock will not. Then the plant and fish will die and are no longer living, they're not alive and unchanging, much like the rock. A virus, like the rock, is unchanging if left in a barren environment over time, so it must be non-living since it's unchanging. It does reproduce though, like nearly all living things, although not all organisms fit the 7 characteristics of life. Like specially bred animals, such as the liger, which is a lion and a tiger, it is unable to reproduce, but it is clearly alive. To determine if an organism is alive, one must clearly state and identify which of the characteristics is required and which ones just help to determine if it's alive. This question consumes many scientists' minds along with many philosophers because it's more of a moral issue. Many people, even now in 2019, are split between alive and non-alive. It just depends on the key elements in which you constitute as alive and which ones you value over the others.